I know you're so much into precision agriculture. How will this precision agriculture make sure that we have at least better quality product out there? Because a farmer will produce, maybe using the technology, but how about transportation? And this leads me to the shelf question. Now that you've had such a good finding about how poor transportation leads to poor quality of our product abroad, what will your project do, or what will your finding do? Just like in the morning where Tremo told us that we should not just do research. How can you advise? How can you help in terms of farm output? Because currently avocado has become a real thing that's generating so much income for farmers. But from that trend, we might end up having no market. So how can you advise, or what can be done? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mariga. Let's have somebody else with a question. Anybody else with a question, just so that we organize ourselves? Okay, Kiru.
Oh, thank you very much for the good presentation. My question goes to Moses, and it's like Dr. Mariga has already said something. Based on the review that Moses you did, I wanted to really ask what would really be the conclusion. Are we advising farmers to do what, so that we better save our avocados from the damage? There was also some graph. I saw that there was a projection that in 2025 there will be a rise in avocado. Every rise would be attributed to something. I wanted to know if you expounded on every point there is a rise, what would have been the reason? And that would be very important. Pala, yes, Sheriff. There was that chart, is it a chart or a table, where we have changes in peroxide value? Yeah, where we have a 6.9 on the exported avocados. And unlike the others that you compared with, this one was standing out. Do we have a reason? Can we explain why there is such a change? Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question? Yes, Regina.
Thank you to the presenters. My first question is to Sheriff. I would like to know whether you worked with which varieties did you work with, because there are a number of varieties. Were they the same in Kenya and also in Netherlands? And then when you have talked about losses come from harvesting to transportation, or when they get to the market, what about period that will take for the fruits to mature? Will the maturity affect the deterioration of the avocados? And then the other question is to Moses. When it comes to precision agriculture, I would like to know what can be done to help small-scale farmers in our nation. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you are noting those concerns. We can have you respond to those, and as you do that, I request Sheriff to also clarify. You talked of handling and transportation. I don't know what extent you went, if it is from the farm to the supermarket, so that there is handling also in Netherlands, not only in Kenya. Then you mentioned one supermarket. For us who are in maths, we are very keen to know how many did you sample. Maybe you sampled one supermarket who are not handling the avocado well. How many supermarkets did you actually sample in Netherlands? So we can be responding. Who goes first? Yes, Beatrice.
Okay, thank you to Dr. Mariga. Yes, I checked the larvae before feeding them to the fresh fecal waste. I checked I screened the larvae at day 5. I obtained them from a colony that was maintained at JKUAT. And then at day 5, I obtained them and checked the ARGs in the larvae before feeding to the fresh fecal waste, and also did sequencing for the microbial community before and after. For the larvae, before feeding them to the fresh fecal waste, and then at the end of the bioconversion. I did the same to the fresh fecal waste at the start, at the midpoint, and at the end. And did the same with the control. Control was fresh fecal waste without the larvae. That's when I could say if there is really a reduction or not. And that's where I concluded on the number of new microbial community that was added in just because of the larvae. And I did not check the heavy metals because that was not my scope.
Thank you for the questions. I'm going to start with the question for Dr. Mariga, what to do. I think this is a very important moment that we need to train farmers and people who are consolidating avocados for export, because the value chain is like it is poked. Many people, the people who are doing maybe trade has poked the value chain and has really caused the avocado to go to loss. So I think the first thing that we are going to do is to train the farmers on this one, on the best methods of transportation and packaging. Of course, I'm still continuing the project to see what we are able to do. Then for Kirui, peroxide value is caused by oxidation level. So when what is called internal bruising. So when avocado eats against each other, even if it does not show the external characteristic of bruising, the internal one will be interfered with. So when you go and cut that avocado after 1 week, because avocado to Netherlands is around 21 days, it will start to blacken. There will be a lot of oxidation level, that is the peroxide level. Then the question of Madam Regina is about variety. We are dealing with the AS variety. That is the variety that most of the people in Europe are consuming because of high peeling level. It is easy to peel that avocado, and it's very small in size, so it is easy to export as variety. Then you have talked about also harvesting. Does the fruit also get maybe losses before harvesting? Yeah, some cases, but we have a regulatory body in Kenya called Horticultural Crop Directorate, the branch of governmental branch that regulates exports. So they regulate the demand for export. So under that one, they are able to at least prevent people who are harvesting immature avocados. So we cannot judge by that because they regulate. When there is first season and the last season, the first season come around March, then the other season around June. So you cannot export before that time. So they regulate also the maturity level of avocado. So that's why we were suspecting from harvesting to maybe shipment. Then handling to Professor Mwenda is from the farm to Netherlands. So from Meru, 8 hours to Nairobi, Nairobi to, it can go through the airport, which is very expensive, but it goes through the sea, the Mombasa, so it will automatically take around 21 days to go to Netherlands, and they will consume it at that point. So, of course, when I went to Netherlands, I did analysis at the depot level. Depot is where they receive our avocado from Kenya. So, and Cyprus, to our surprise, is that Kenyan avocado, they write their names. It's not like South Africa avocado, where they are saying it is from South Africa. So when it comes from Meru, yeah, it is written, it is Meru avocado, maybe somebody, Mutugi, is the exporter, and all that. So we are able to track that one, and that's how I did the analysis. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Let's request those who are not responding to kindly sit. You guys use the first row here. So, Joka, you're the last. You can also sit so that whoever is responding is just
Thank you. So let me also take this opportunity to respond to Dr. Mariga. You wanted me to explain what I was doing. Order, constant order, and variable order, mathematical models in how they represent the enrollment of students in school and how they represent the interaction of these schools and how they will guide the policy measures that will be put in place by the government or any other body which is which would like to see the education system heads in the right direction. So for integer order, that is where we were beginning with. We were extending the integer order. An integer order in this case, this is a mathematical model which doesn't care about the memory state of an education system. This is a model which thinks that the moment you introduce any policy into the education system, it does the past influence. I mean, the past cannot influence the present and also the future. With constant order and variable order, those are the fractional models. Constant order, in this case, it takes care of the memory. But then it tends to assume that this memory doesn't evolve with time. The moment you introduce any policy in the education system, it will remain the way it is, it will never fade. But actually in real life situation, we know that when you introduce anything, any policy in an education system, it can intensify with time or fades with time. It's like, for instance, if you want to enroll your child in a particular school, you normally ask for the whereabouts of those schools. You ask how they are performing, you ask what they have been doing in the past, and from that perspective, you should know that those memory, the past memories always affect the current and also the future. I believe I've answered you. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Moses?
Thank you, Dr. Mariga, for the question. In regards to the increase, on one side there's an increase, but the problem is that at a farmer level, what can we do to this small scale farmer and improve in terms of production? When we increase production, Wanakirui, when we increase this production, we have a lot of things to do with this avocado. It's not only for export. We can make oil. We can make oil for ladies. Ladies are struggling with bad hair. And so how can we improve that by improving their hair? We can have some good oil. Then, Madam Regina, in regards to what are we doing as a country for now? We have these companies which are coming up, and they are bringing these high-priced softwares and drones, but when they are giving it to the farmers, then they are giving them at a lower price. And so if we can, as an institution, have such kind of an enterprise or an IGU, then we can think about hiring those drones to our community out here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, other presenters. Moses, what was this? Is an MSc project or whatever you are presenting? What was it? You mixed some of us. What is it you are presenting?
It is a review. The Italians who are coming. We are.
Oh, it's a review you are doing?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Let us appreciate these presenters. Because we said we are running, please, in research we are very keen. Don't tell us these are cheaper. We want to see this one is 1,000 shillings. This one is 800 shillings. Therefore, you remember the therefore? Therefore it is cheaper. Please, with precise information. Bara, please be very careful again in research. When you talk about in facts, then you say, what have you used repeatedly here? There are some words you have used here repeatedly, which confirms that you are very sure about that. We will ask you for evidence. So please, thank you very much. I now want to confirm that we have these presentations. Let me have the list. For the remaining 4 of us, three of us. Duncan Mutuko, are you there? We can delete that from the list. Okay, so the next one is Sabe Gitonga, are you there? Have you loaded your presentation? Thank you. You will be the next presenter. Caroline Ndegwa. Okay. Ndegwa is there. Have you loaded your presentation? Yes. You will be the second presenter. Then antibiotics, we are done. The next one is Brian. Brian Kiobara. Are you there? We can delete that from the list. Then we have John Kamande.
assessing the impact of human papilloma vaccination on cervical cancer incidence in Meru County. My supervisors are Dr. Grace Gaki and Dr. Josephine Mutembe of Meru University. So we have the introduction, objectives, literature review, methodology, numerical analysis, the simulation, and also the conclusion. So the introduction starts the human papilloma virus, that is the HPV. It's a virus that is responsible for cervical cancer. It's the one that causes cervical cancer, and its nature is a rounded, double-stranded DNA genome, and it enters the body through skin wax and also through sexual encounters. We have two types, that is HPV 16 and 18, and they are linked to cervical cancer. So we have the objectives. The general objective is to model the impact of human papilloma vaccination on cervical cancer incidence in Meru County. That is my main objective, or the general. Then we have the specific. One is to formulate a mathematical model of HPV transmission dynamics within Meru County and evaluate the effects of vaccination of HPV. Next is to perform the equilibrium analysis of HPV transmission dynamics, and also to simulate the impact of HPV vaccination on cervical cancer incidence over time using data from Meru County. Then we have the literature review that was carried out by Garnetti and et al. So they studied the high risk among the unvaccinated individuals, but there are some gaps in their research whereby they lacked some emphasis on the vaccine coverage and the type-specific immunity. Then we have the model, that is the model of the model flowchart, whereby it's made up of 6 compartments, whereby we have the S for susceptible, E for exposed, I for infected, R recovered, V is for the vaccinated, and the T is for the treated. So the virus enters the body through the parameter I, then the susceptible population becomes exposed to the virus through the parameter lambda, then the exposed gets infected to the virus through the parameter omega, and then the infected recover through the parameter sigma. Then we have the susceptible, they become vaccinated through the parameter alpha, and then the vaccinated, they become exposed through the parameter phi, and then the infected get exposed. They get the virus through the parameter gamma. So the mu is the natural death rate, and then theta is the rate at which the recovered become susceptible to the virus. Then we have the model equations. Then we have now the analysis whereby you have boundedness and positivity. So for the boundedness is whereby we try to study the feasibility of the solutions, whereby the subset is properly bounded. Then we have the positivity whereby we try to show that all the solutions are non-negative, all the compartments are non-negative. Then the disease-free equilibrium. For the disease-free equilibrium, this is whereby there is no disease in the entire population. Then we have the basic reproduction number. So the basic reproduction number refers to the number of secondary infections that an infectious person causes when exposed to the susceptible population, and it is generated using basic reproduction number is greater than 1. And in that case, remember we have said the reproduction number, is the rate at which the infectious person transmits the virus to the population. Then we have the local stability of disease-free equilibrium, and the local stability of disease-free equilibrium, it's whereby all the solutions, whereby the initial conditions converge as time tends to infinity, and for local stability of disease-free equilibrium, the basic reproduction number is less than 1. Then we have, next is the global stability of disease-free equilibrium. This is whereby the conditions or the initial conditions can convert from any point, from any starting point, and not only from the global stability of disease-free equilibrium. So it was guided by Castro Chavez at R.2. Then we have the global stability of endemic equilibrium. So in this case, the initial conditions converge from any other point and not from the points that are close to the global stability of endemic equilibrium. And in this case, the basic reproduction number is greater than 1. Then we have the bifurcation analysis. So in the bifurcation, we try to see whereby a small change in parameter, what it causes in the entire population. That is what we try to study in the bifurcation analysis. And for the bifurcation analysis, the basic reproduction number is less than 1. Then we have the numerical simulations. So for the numerical simulations, we use the MATLAB. We use the MATLAB application, and we have some of the graphs. The first graph is the graph of susceptible population against time, whereby if more people are vaccinated, then the level of the virus goes down and it comes to peak. Next is the exposed, the graph of exposed population against the time, whereby if more people are vaccinated from the virus, then there is fall of people that contain the virus. The next graph is the graph of the infected against the time, whereby if more people are vaccinated, then the number of infected people falls down. Then the next graph is the graph of vaccinated against the time. If more campaigns are made and the more susceptible population is vaccinated, then the people that contain the virus goes down. Then the next one is the graph of recovered against the time, whereby if more people in the population are vaccinated, then the level of the people that have the virus goes down. Then we also have done what we call the partial rank correlation coefficient, or what we call the PRCC. Remember, it is a tool that is used to rank. PRCC is used to rank the parameters, and whereby the most significant parameters are studied. And in PRCC, the parameters range between -1, from -1 to +1, whereby if they are too near, the parameters are greater significance, the model. But if they are too far, then the significance is less. Then we have the sensitivity analysis. Try to study how each and every parameter has the effect on the basic reproduction number, and it helps us to prioritize intervention strategies based on the impactful parameters. Then we have the conclusion and the recommendation. So for the conclusion, we developed the model. We started studied the equilibrium states, and also we computed the basic reproduction number, and also for the recommendation is that I will do more research on integrating clinical interventions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please take note of our last presentation. Karibu, and give us the presentation. We'll ask the questions after this presentation. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Oliver Lideke. We were working with the Caroline. So I'm going to present on precision agriculture technology for management of false armyworm in maize production system in Kenya. So on introduction, maize is one of the important food crop in Kenya specifically. And when it comes to production, that Kenya consume 5 million metric tons of maize, but what we can only produce is 3.5. So the remaining metric tons are imported. So the land underutilization of maize growing, it is 2.1, and the land which can be utilized is 4.1. False armyworm. They were introduced in Kenya the year 2016, and they caused yield loss, and in average in terms of percentage, that is 47.3 to 73%. Then in terms of money, we can quantify the losses in terms of ranging between 2.2 to 5.5 billion agriculture technology, that there exists a gap between what is known, like for those people who develop, let's say, drone, and for those farmers like us who are in agronomy, that at what extent, at which economic injury should the drone start detecting that there is a pest infestation? And then also on our people in Kenya, are we able to adopt the technology? Because most of the time you find most people fear of unknown, they will not adopt new technology. So even though we are saying in Kenya, there are some milestones we have made as a country when it comes for, we can talk about achievement like in irrigation. It has been automated in some places. We also have GPS has been used. On the challenges, here is where we are. We are talking about plant protection. In plant protection, where we are talking about false armyworm, how can we control or detect it? And also on diseases, at what level do the pathogens, at what level will we control the pathogens? We have area of research that we need to venture in terms of use of robotics. In Kenya, even in Meru, we have not had any farm that operate by use of robotics. We also have white box machine, and we have so if we can incorporate that as area of research, would be of great interest. Conclusion: in Kenya, the most conventional practices that we use mostly lead to yield reduction and environmental impact in terms of using pesticides. But some of these pesticides are broad spectrum. When they are broad spectrum, they kill even the natural enemies that are beneficial even to control other insects. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let us appreciate Oliver. Yeah, they worked with Caroline. In the documentation is only Caroline name appearing, so we were not very insensitive when we called Caroline. So, Samuel, please join Oliver so that we take any questions from the audience. So, let's have questions. Yes, Dr. Jacob.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Xavier and Oliver, for your presentations. I have two clarifications for Xavier. You talked about the infected, the affected, the susceptible becoming infected through a parameter omega, but you didn't tell us what omega was. You didn't tell us what sigma is. I think that information is important for our consumption because we need to know what are these rates. The second question, what kind of data did you use? What kind of data did you use? Because you have talked about carrying out this research in Meru County, but the type of data used in your analysis is not coming out clearly. Was it simulated or was it real data? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Please take note of that. Any other question? Yes, Dr. Marie.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Xavier and Deke, for the good presentations. And one observation that I've seen is that, Chair, our students have a uniform PowerPoint, the way they have their slides, like the one I think is Xavier used, with our logo. That's very good. I think we should always have that because it's a way of appreciating our university and marketing it. Now, Xavier, just to check, why did you go for the cervical cancer? Is it the most prevalent cancer we have in Meru, or it's the one that maybe a vaccine can help alleviate? That one. Why I'm asking is because it's not stone cast. It's something that I've had time over and over, that Meru is the one that's amongst the counties is leading in cancer cases. So that's why I'm asking. And Lideke, I'm wondering, because I hear of stock borer, there's an article I read which stipulated that stock borer is the one that's most abrasive in terms of reducing corn yield, that it is more destructive than the follow. Now, I don't know if there's an interrelationship between the two, because I know we have some biological remedies, e.g. the Bacillus thuringiensis, which was developed to curb the stock borer. I don't know if it works across also the follow. So kindly educate me here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. for that. Any more questions from the audience? All right, if there's no any question, then I think we can have the question.
So thank you so much, Dr. Jacob. So I will start with the question on the rates. So the rates, the parameters, they represent different rates. So for example, like a parameter like theta, it is representing the rate at which the recovered population becomes susceptible again of the virus. Also we have a parameter like sigma, which is representing the rate at which the infected